Eid al-Adha Exodus, the 1975 Moroccan expulsion from Algeria. The historical context of Algerian-Moroccan relations leading up to 1975 is complex, marked by colonial legacies and border disputes. After gaining independence, tensions escalated over territorial claims, impacting political and social interactions between the two nations. Houari Boumedienne's presidency in Algeria began in 1965 after a military coup that ousted Ahmed Ben Bella. Boumedienne focused on socialist policies and strengthening state control over the economy. His foreign policy was characterized by a strong stance on Arab unity and anti-imperialism. On December 18, 1975, the first day of Eid al-Adha marked a significant moment in Algerian-Moroccan relations. While communities were celebrating the holiday, underlying tensions between the two countries continued to simmer, affecting diplomatic and social dynamics. The Madrid Accords, signed in 1975 involving Spain, Morocco and Mauritania, were pivotal but controversial as they did not include Algeria. The agreement facilitated the partition of Western Sahara between Morocco and Mauritania, straining relations with Algeria, which supported the Sahrawi independence movement. President Boumedienne's decision to expel Moroccan nationals later that year was a harsh measure that reflected the strained relations. The immediate effects were devastating for those affected, disrupting lives and further souring diplomatic relations between Morocco and Algeria. The expulsion of Moroccan families from Algeria in 1975 involved a staggering number of individuals, with estimates ranging from 45,000 to 350,000. This wide discrepancy in figures has led to significant debate among historians and scholars attempting to understand the scale of the event. The expulsion deeply affected the lives of approximately 45,000 Moroccan families, leading to a sudden upheaval and displacement. These families, abruptly uprooted, faced immense challenges in relocating and rebuilding their lives in a new, unfamiliar environment. Among those affected, a small group of 5,000 Moroccans was granted Algerian nationality. This decision highlighted a complex interplay of political and humanitarian considerations, offering these select individuals a chance to remain in the country that had become their home. The Algerian public and political spheres reacted with a mix of support and ambivalence towards President Houari Boumedienne's decision to expel Moroccan nationals. This move was seen by some as a necessary step for national security, while others criticized it for its humanitarian implications. In Morocco, the government and public response was one of shock and condemnation. The expulsion strained bilateral relations, sparking a series of diplomatic confrontations and deeply affecting public sentiment towards Algeria. This event marked a significant low point in the historical ties between the two nations. The Moroccan government's response to the expulsion was marked by a mix of diplomacy and public outrage. Officials sought to negotiate with Algeria, appealing for calm and the protection of their citizens' rights, while the media fueled nationalistic sentiments among the populace. Moroccan citizens reacted with a profound sense of betrayal and loss. Families torn apart and lives disrupted led to widespread emotional and financial distress. Grassroots movements began to emerge, calling for government action and support for those affected by the expulsions. On the international stage, the expulsion drew mixed reactions. While some countries and international organizations expressed concern over the humanitarian implications, others remained silent, prioritizing geopolitical stability and their own strategic interests in the region over a strong condemnation. In Algeria, the immediate socioeconomic impact of expelling thousands of Moroccans was palpable. The removal of a significant portion of the workforce affected several sectors, particularly agriculture and construction, leading to short-term economic disruptions and labor shortages. Media coverage of the 1975 expulsions varied significantly. Algerian outlets largely portrayed the move as a necessary step for national security, while international media often highlighted the humanitarian concerns, creating a dichotomy in public perception both domestically and abroad. Legal and human rights perspectives on the 1975 expulsions criticized the lack of due process and arbitrary nature of the decision, highlighting violations of international law, particularly the principles of non-discrimination and the right to due process. The 1975 expulsions serve as a poignant example when compared to other historical expulsions and migrations, showing similar patterns of abrupt displacement and long-term repercussions, yet unique in its geopolitical context within North African politics. Efforts to reconcile between Algeria and Morocco have been sporadic and often overshadowed by lingering mistrust and unresolved disputes, indicating a complex path towards genuine normalization of relations post-1975. The legacy of the expulsions remains a contentious issue in Algerian-Moroccan relations, affecting diplomatic interactions and complicating collaborative regional initiatives, reflecting unresolved historical grievances and the need for a comprehensive bilateral approach. Survivors' stories from the expulsion paint a vivid picture of disruption and resilience, offering personal insights into the human impact of political decisions and the enduring spirit of those affected, emphasizing the personal cost of broader geopolitical strategies. The expulsion significantly influenced North African regional politics, heightening tensions and shaping diplomatic strategies for decades. Both Algeria and Morocco became wary partners in regional alliances, with the expulsion casting a long shadow over their bilateral interactions. Reflecting on the historical significance of the 1975 expulsions, it becomes evident that such events not only disrupt lives, but also reshape political landscapes. The lessons learned underline the importance of diplomacy and human rights in maintaining stability and fostering reconciliation in international relations. Eid al-Adha, 1975. President Houari Boumediene orders expulsion of Moroccan nationals from Algeria. The relationship between Algeria and Morocco prior to 1975 was characterized by fluctuating tensions and brief periods of cooperation. Historical disputes over territory, such as the Western Sahara, often marred diplomatic relations, setting the stage for deeper conflicts. Houari Boumediene's presidency in Algeria, beginning in 1965, marked a period of assertive foreign policy and domestic reform. His push for socialist principles and nationalization of oil resources significantly impacted Algeria's economic and political landscape. Eid al-Adha holds profound significance in the Islamic calendar, symbolizing sacrifice and devotion. In Algeria, this festival is not only a religious observance, but also a time for strengthening family and community bonds, reflecting the nation's rich cultural heritage. Before 1975, Moroccan nationals in Algeria were a noticeable demographic, involved primarily in various sectors, including trade and labor. Their presence was a testament to the historically porous borders and shared cultural ties between the two nations. The economic and social contributions of Moroccan nationals in Algeria were substantial. They played key roles in the workforce and were integral to the cross-cultural exchange, helping to build what was a vibrant, albeit complex, social fabric between the two countries. Political tensions between Algeria and Morocco before December 18, 1975, were largely fueled by long-standing disputes over territory, including the Western Sahara. These frictions were exacerbated by conflicting alliances and Cold War dynamics, creating a volatile atmosphere in North African geopolitics. The immediate triggers for the expulsion decision on Eid al-Adha included heightened security concerns and alleged espionage activities by Moroccan nationals. This decision was also influenced by the broader context of the Western Sahara conflict, where Morocco's actions were perceived as aggressive by the Algerian government. President Houari Boumediene issued the expulsion order, which mandated the immediate removal of Moroccan nationals from Algeria. This drastic measure was officially framed as a necessary act for national security, reflecting the intense strain in bilateral relations. Executing the expulsion presented significant logistic and administrative challenges. The suddenness of the order led to chaos at border crossings, with insufficient provisions for the proper processing of thousands of people being forced to leave. The international response to the expulsion was mixed, with some countries expressing concern over the humanitarian implications, while others remained silent, viewing it as an internal matter of sovereign decision-making. Human rights organizations, however, strongly criticized the lack of due process and the harsh conditions of the expulsion. The expulsion of Moroccan nationals from Algeria in 1975 had a profound impact on families and communities. Many were forced to leave their homes abruptly, losing their livelihoods and leaving behind a life they had built over many years. This sudden change caused significant emotional and social strain on the expelled individuals and their families. Media outlets in Algeria, Morocco, and internationally covered the expulsion extensively. Reports often highlighted the humanitarian concerns and the chaotic nature of the expulsion process. This coverage helped draw global attention to the plight of the expelled Moroccans, influencing international perceptions and responses. The diplomatic relations between Algeria and Morocco were severely affected by the expulsion. This event deepened the mistrust and hostility between the two nations, leading to a prolonged period of strained relations. It took years for diplomatic channels to be fully restored and for a semblance of normalcy to return. Human rights organizations and legal experts debated the legality and morality of the expulsion. Many argued that it violated international law, including principles of non-discrimination and the right to live in one's country. These debates brought attention to the need for stronger protections against arbitrary expulsion. International organizations and some countries expressed concern over the expulsion and offered various forms of assistance to those affected. Efforts were made to provide humanitarian aid and support to expelled Moroccans, helping them resettle and rebuild their lives in their home country or elsewhere. Personal stories from expelled Moroccan nationals reveal a tapestry of disrupted lives and severed community ties. Many describe the pain of leaving homes behind and the struggle to rebuild in a new environment, all while trying to maintain cultural and familial connections. Algerian public opinion on the expulsion was mixed, reflecting a complex interplay of nationalism, empathy, and misunderstanding. Some Algerians supported the government's decision, viewing it as necessary for national security, while others lamented the humanitarian consequences and the impact on social harmony. The Moroccan government acted promptly to assist its expelled citizens, setting up temporary shelters and providing financial aid. Efforts were also made to integrate returnees into the Moroccan economy, although challenges like job scarcity and social reintegration persisted. Historical and political studies re-evaluating the expulsion highlight its long-lasting impact on Algerian-Moroccan relations and the broader North African geopolitical landscape. Such analyses often explore the interplay between domestic policies and international pressures at the time. Comparative analysis with other expulsion events globally shows that such actions often leave deep societal scars, affecting diplomatic relations and national identities for decades. The Algerian-Moroccan case is a stark reminder of the far-reaching consequences of political decisions on human lives. The legacy of the 1975 expulsion of Moroccans from Algeria continues to cast a long shadow over contemporary relations between the two nations. Despite the passage of decades, the event remains a sensitive topic, often reigniting old grievances during diplomatic negotiations and regional cooperation discussions. Reflections on this chapter of history highlight the importance of reconciliation efforts to mend the fractured relations. Initiatives aimed at dialogue and mutual understanding have been crucial in easing tensions. These efforts serve as a reminder of the potential for healing, even in the wake of profound disputes.